y'all, it's Sparrow. By request, I'm going to show you how to do a Catherine wheel join. This is not something I use very often, but a lot of people really like to use it. So a Catherine wheel join is basically where it's a slide join. So this is the join right here. You can see it looks just like a double stitch, just a little bit longer at the bottom because it's joined to this picot. And when you make a lock join going around something like this, it creates this kind of dip where you get this very sharp corner, so to speak. And a Catherine wheel join allows you to keep this chain nice and smooth going along here, so you get this very rounded effect. And really, this is essentially just a tat over. If you've watched advanced lessons 5 and 6, which are tatting over a ring and split chains, then you really already know how to do this. It's not as complicated as it might seem. The real key is to make sure that your core thread ends up in the right spot. So the idea is that when we tat over this picot and make our Catherine wheel join, that our core thread ends up inside that stitch so that it continues all the way through this ring or chain. So to do that, I've got my shuttle 1 and my shuttle 2. You can do this with a ball, it's just easier with a shuttle. So I'm going to pull a loop through the picot from top. I'm putting my hook in from top to bottom, so the loop is going to come through the bottom up to the top. And I'm going to pull a loop, a very large loop, of my shuttle 2, which is making my chain stitches. But I'm going to make sure that my core thread, my shuttle 1 thread, is lying right beside that picot, right along the inside, so that I'm making this around that core thread. So I've got this very large loop, and I'm going to put my shuttle through this loop from bottom to top. And now what I'm going to do is go to the back side, and I'm pulling this thread here to pop that loop through. So we're just manipulating the thread to get it where we want it, all the way through. So now we can pull this little guy. So this is that loop that was originally on the front, and now I've pulled it to the back. And I'm going to tighten that down, and that's going to make the first half of my stitch right there. That's the first half of the join. So now I've got my loop through the back, and now my shuttle 2 thread is coming out of the front of this picot. So I'm going to take it through this loop from front to back and then tighten that down. And you can see that just makes a nice little double stitch right there. And it's joined to the picot, and my core thread is encapsulated inside. You can see it peeking through there a little bit. And now when I make the rest of my chain, as I make more stitches, I can tighten that chain, and it slides through all of those stitches, so I can make it as tight as I want it and keep it where I want it to be. So that is how you make a Catherine wheel join. Pretty easy once you understand the basic concept of it. I don't know, I don't really practical applications. I don't use it very much, so I know there's a lot of doily patterns that use this join a lot, so maybe come in handy for some of those. But yeah, that's it. Have fun. Bye.